It's kinda crazy that despite how popular superhero movies have been over the years, we rarely have gotten actual good superhero games that make you feel like the person. Unless you really enjoy flying through all the rings. But if you're allergic to rings on your ring finger, you got the next best thing, the Arkham Trilogy. Starring everyone's moody rich guy who dresses up to beat up poor people.
Hey kids, Batman!
And for a game that possibly popularized two whole gameplay systems, every time a character wants to see their objective in the world, they make up Batman Vision. Then the free flow combat, which gets so fun. The more combos you do and take no hits, instantly knocking guys out. Because yes, Batman doesn't kill. Good luck having kids the old-fashioned way, buddy.
I think I chipped a nail back there.
And the three mainline Arkham games, finishing with Batman Arkham Knight, which I first brushed aside thinking, man, this tank gameplay is so shoehorned in, this city is too big, and it doesn't even work on PC! Because yes, dear viewer, I was one of those weirdos who played the entire trilogy with a keyboard and mouse. It works really well, okay? There's so many buttons and all the combos, and after replaying this for the umpteenth time, holy moly, I think I love this game. The way it uses an open world to help you stumble upon new things, learning about the amazing lore of Batman, to actually feeling like him, the speed, the stealth, the power. Man, Rocksteady killed it in 2015. I wonder what they're doing now.
Oh no. Oh no.
So with this video, I just want to take a look back at a game that I didn't give its due. It really is such an amazing game, and I miss it so much. Well, Batman actually had a few video games over the years, and most of them not really that great. I mean, who here is still talking about Batman Return of the Joker? But I actually did remember playing one of these when I got these bootleg 500 games in one Game Boy cartridge from India, where they would have Castlevania 40 and Castlevania 68. They are the exact same game! But I had this one Batman game, and it was okay, but I don't think at the time I was a huge Batman fan. Like, I had one comic where Batman is trapped in Joker's theme park and almost gets crushed in spikes, which really traumatized me. But I think, like most people, I became a huge fan after Nolan's Batman movie. While not as comic accurate, they are a great introduction to the superhero, and thinking, whoa! Bats are cool! So the Dark Knight movie released in 2008, Batman Mania was in full swing, which was a perfect time for Arkham Asylum to release the following year. But even then, I never played it till I got my own PC in 2011. It's kinda crazy how this came about as Eidos approached Rocksteady, this random British studio who are making whatever this is, after being impressed with their prototype, and in 2 years they made the game, with the writer Paul Dini, who you know wrote the very popular animated series, to write a brand new story, not based on a comic, and to keep this love for the series, they got Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill to reprise their roles for the main two. And I think one thing that shows is how much they love the source material. Going into these games, you will be blown away with how much DC lore is hidden throughout, and how each character acts and feels like their original counterparts, and not just, this guy's name is Robin. Robin is his code name, not his real name. And it's so funny looking at this because they created it to be very comic book, but gritty like the Nolan movies. The tone matching them both up so well with the UI and sound design. And it's so funny learning early versions of this combat was actually a rhythm game? Oh my god, we missed peak Batman! So gameplay for the three games is pretty similar, with a major difference being that each of the worlds becomes bigger. Asylum is just a place, City is a bigger town with more houses, and Night is 4 full islands that you need a car to get in between because there's no loading screens to fast travel. And they matched Batman perfectly. It's a pretty hard thing to do.
Batman Fortnite.
One party's beating up villains using all his gadgets, and with how smart he is, the free flow nature where you chain together attacks by clicking on the next guy, to then countering, knowing what to do before the enemy, it felt like you were always one step ahead of them. Then you got combo chains using gadgets, takedowns, and with the sound design, it makes me feel Yakuza level of, oh my god, I love beating people up! Then you would have the other side, the stealth gameplay. As someone who works in the shadows, they have these rooms with vantage points and grades, and you gotta sneak around and stealthily take out enemies who would kill you way quicker with their guns. And these were so cool because you would hear the grunts talk about things, then you take one guy out and they all start to panic. You can even see their heart rate change as you take more of them out. And with the grunts' dialogue, when you roam the city, you would hear them talk about how the game's story progressed over time, changing things up as you move along, while I was talking about random things about the DC universe like, whoa, wait, who's that you mentioned?
She's in a block of ice. If you thawed her out, would she be hot?
Way I understand it, if she thaws out, she's dead. But to answer your question, yeah, she's kinda good looking in a near dead, frozen sort of way, I guess.
Nice.
What's wrong with you?
There ain't nothing wrong.
I think it's just this love and reverence you can clearly see for the franchise. Like, I found these videos and I'm not even a comic fan and I'm blown away with how many Easter eggs they're put in. And they give a lot of the villains their time in the spotlight to make them as memorable as Joker, who himself is one of the best iterations of the clown. These games solidified my love of Batman and lore of DC and Gotham. Nolan introduced me to the world, and Rocksteady made me a fan, and as you'll see in this video, it was truly justified with how good these games are. But this isn't a video on all three of them, nor the spin-off. I'll be focusing on Arkham Knight, which I feel is the best, and one of my top 10 favorite games. It is to me one of the last bastions of modern gaming, where it has all the tropes, the no loading, the cinematic graphics, the big open world, but it does it so well, and I honestly don't think any AAA game to me has come close. My opinion. It is my opinion. I mean, how did they make this game so good? Like what even was the year they made it? 2015? JT hadn't even ruined the tour yet. But to appreciate it, I have to go through the other two games, well, briefly on Asylum. Because, yeah, as they improved upon each game, it's kind of hard for me to go back to Asylum. I mean, I'm not that crazy yet. Which feels so basic in comparison. You can't even do double takedowns here. So I'll go quickly through the story and then on to City. As I believe to appreciate Night even more, you should be aware of what happened in the first two games. I mean, the literal opening shot of Arkham Knight is huge spoilers to what happens in Arkham City. So Arkham Asylum has Batman having to clean out the insane asylum, which houses Gotham's craziest supervillains, the main one being Scarecrow with his fear toxin, and Joker, who is just delightful.
Officer Bowles.
And Joker gets his hand on the Titan formula, which changes his
Dino DNA
and turns him into this. But we win and he turns back to normal in hospital. Then you have Arkham City in 2011, which honestly has some of the best promotional art in video gaming, period. And is considered one of the best games in 2011, tying its Metacritic score with Skyrim. Oh no, not that again! So now with Arkham City, this was the year I actually got to play on a PC, you know, single player games, and Dota 2.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
And so I got this game, which when you load it up, had GFWL. Games for Windows Live. Yes, this dog shit. It's a launcher store thing that a ton of games use, and it's now dead, meaning those ton of games don't work. So yet my paid version of Arkham City doesn't work now at all. So they upgraded everyone for free to the Game of the Year edition, which works, but that means all my records are gone! Yep, all those ranks I got, getting 7th in the world on this map with a freaking keyboard and mouse. I have no proof anymore! So I'm gonna keep saying it, I'm gonna keep telling you about it because that must make it true then! You gotta believe me, it's the only thing that gives my life meaning! Yes, this game had you logging into Gufwil, and its service was tracking your stats on these challenge maps, where you got these combat ones, which you have to get a high score, and stealth ones where you have to take out every guard the quickest. And I remember redoing my run of this so much to optimize it. Yes, my early speedrunning days, and I was so proud I got 7th in the entire world for this, but it's all stripped away when the servers shut down. But at least we got the free upgrade, which can't even do borderless windows. So when you alt-tab, the sound disappears. Man, I love mid-2000s PC gaming. Anyway, the game opens up with Bruce Wayne, Batman's real persona, getting arrested and taken to Arkham City, a place Dr. Hugo Strange made to house criminals away from Gotham. And it is such a cool opening.
In a few moments, Bruce Wayne will be live on stage to explain his sudden interest in Gotham politics. The infamous Playboy millionaire has never been one to—
Billionaire, Vicky. Millionaires are so last year.
You also play as Catwoman for a few missions as the game opens up with these opportunities to play as other heroes and offers more playstyles before she is kidnapped by Two-Face. While we get captured by Strange.
I feel I should thank you. Capturing Bruce
How about a
Wayne.
man?
But we break out, grab the Batsuit, and go to free Catwoman, which has us fighting lots of enemies and is so much more fun than Asylum, as it feels more free-flowing. The sounds are more impactful, and since it's a bigger world, you can start the fight by gliding in, giving you way more options. And one thing about these Arkham games is that they have so much dialogue, because people will keep talking if you're taking your time to plan things out, having these long, authentic conversations where you can hear some really cool lore dialogue, or get the funny grunt talk.
Mr. J, please hurt me some more.
Or just straight up interrupt them.
We will rule this town.
Surprise!
I figured you could use my help, Selina.
You're right. I think I chipped a nail back there.
Hey, she stole
I
my
chipped the nail back
line!
there. Funny.
So you get detective time, which is cool on paper, but it usually just involves you using the night vision and holding spacebar on a very obvious point to work out something in the world. As we hear, Joker might be here.
Funny.
And we get the first use of stealth gameplay. We gotta take them out quietly as they have hostages, then capturing Harley and taking care of her
Goons.
Then we gotta get in the good old-fashioned way. And you gotta work out puzzles, then how to see Joker and find out his plan, just like a detective.
Do you know what he's talking about? He kept going on about his last laugh.
Doc. Isn't that information supposed to be confidential?
So just like how Danganronpa makes me feel like getting therapy, playing this makes me feel like Batman. As he has to solve all these people's problems, but he's just one guy. And I gotta say, Kevin Conroy did such a good job as Batman. I never watched the animated show. The only Batman I heard was Nolan. Where are they? And the Brave and the Bold one, which was fun, but then it's voiced by this guy who I'm sure is a nice guy, but then it's also like I watched this comedy show and it's like...
I'm sorry, can we get a wipe for her feet?
Oh no, not again!
Batman! Oh, sorry.
Funny.
But Joker is here and captures us, infecting us with his blood, which has the Titan formula in it that's slowly poisoning Joker. While he also put his blood into Gotham's hospitals to infect other people. That nice guy he is, giving blood, it's such a good thing he did. So now, essentially, he wants a cure for himself and makes it so Batman has to find one to save himself and other people.
So we both die. I'm fine with that.
And in between, in Arkham City, you also play as Catwoman, who is trying to steal from Doctor Strange. However, she doesn't have a cape, so you actually have to climb the buildings with button inputs. I cannot get over how much care they put into every character to not feel like reskins. Like in these games, you can actually swap outfits with the DLC to play as Batman from many different comic iterations, but if you keep the default one, you'll actually see it has wear and tear throughout the game, with the suit ripping the more and more he goes on.
What do you want?
Is someone feeling a little down?
I can't believe I didn't think of this earlier. A hotline straight to my bestest friend in the world.
And this is why I love how seamless the game is with exploring. So you have these side quests, but to find more on them, you actually have to find them in the wild. You can't just look up a guide on where they are. But while you flick on the night vision or you just fly around when you're holding the spacebar to glide, by the way, did I forget to mention that I'm playing this on PC? I mean, I don't even know how he does it. Look, up in the sky. It's not a bird. It's not a plane. It's Batman. Oh god, he doesn't have any superpowers. He's gonna crash. Here you'll find more clues about the sniper. Before then, I hear this phone ringing, and you hear the voice of that rat from the cartoon on the phone.
I'll never forget you.
And I'm just wandering around, beating people up, and I randomly find the place where Bruce's parents died. This is so cool, but also so sad.
Cowabunga.
The side quests though are okay. Like, I really didn't enjoy the phone call guy where you gotta track him down while he's staying on the line hearing how he British crimes people. But then you find some guy who's been stealing the faces of people. And it turns out this guy has methodically done this to recreate our face! Bro, ain't that hot? Well, so you gotta find Mr. Freeze to make the cure, but he needs stuff that Penguin stole from him. No, it's not an actual penguin. It's this mob guy who's voiced by Nathan Drake. No, I cannot hear him as anything else. He's just sounding like he's angry and British.
So here's the thing. Back there, I've got a cabinet with your name on.
You're safe for now.
Thank God.
So you can also get these upgrades when you level up and you learn moves, like while in the fights. If you don't button mash, you have to mouse click to attack and it sort of auto locks on to the enemy that you're looking at. But if you upgrade this and press it in time, you can do these critical strikes. Ah, the rhythm game! But now we gotta save the cops from... Didn't even give you a chance to finish. And then we got a boss fight against Solomon Grundy using explosive gel, where you got all these gadgets like the Batarang, freeze gun, electric charge, and explosives, which you can use in combat, but you can also use them for puzzles like the electric charge will open switches, you got the hack machine to open doors, or Batarangs to hit these Riddler puzzles. Where this villain, the Riddler, is so angry that we are smarter than him, so he set up these puzzles throughout the city and you gotta find and collect. And you will want to grab these as they unlock all these bonus challenge maps outside of the story. But anyway, this boss involves you mashing the main key, and you want to know what that is on PC? The goddamn spacebar! Have you done this in your life? If you hate someone so much, tell them to go and mash their spacebar. This is so painful. I hate it so much. And it's so funny because Batman this entire game is infected and having to fight his own bloodstream dying while taking on all these supervillains. Like, bro is really going through it and winning. But when you compare it to other games like the second Spider-Man one where Peter Parker dies to a fridge, you cannot compete with this dude. But you know who isn't a Chad? Robin. Because he had hair loss. But yeah, you gotta do this other quest where you gotta stop Ra's al Ghul from using the Lazarus Pit, which is some super Shrek goo that regenerates his body, keeping him alive for centuries. And then his daughter, Talia, who you're totally not sleeping with. And you trick their group all the while Joker's blood is kicking you from the inside.
Bruce, you can hear me, can't you?
You're losing it.
And so you gobble Shrek's goo to prove your loyalty to them. And yes, this is still a comic book video game where they go wild with it as you start tripping. And Rage wants to prove yourself to take over his clan, where you have to glide for a bit and then you gotta shoot these electric pulses onto him while mashing the spacebar to dodge out of the way. And oh my god, this is so hard. And then you hear your boyfriend call.
You have one missed call.
Hey, been missing you. Get back to me. Laters.
You have one missed call.
I'm just dying to speak to you. Call me, Bats.
You have one missed call.
Bats? Seriously? You're making me paranoid. Why aren't you answering my calls?
So also I see... Who the hell is this? So we beat up Mr. Freeze, whose boss arena has you take downing him from different areas, as normally the basic takedown is to sneak quietly behind an enemy, but now you can do things like attack from the grate, the gargoyle, or use environmental hazards. Then you also randomly get a call from Alfred, your butler, who says, "Yo, what's happening? I found the cure!" But surprise, it's a trick by the Mad Hatter who puts a mask on you, giving us this delightful scene.
You are my soldier now, Batman. You will do everything I say. You will do anything I want.
Does this count as a horror game?
Sounds like Joker's trying to stop me with mines.
Will it work?
Do I look worried?
Worried? No. Sick? Very. You look terrible.
Well, anyway, we find Harley, where we get this brand new feature of removing and putting the masking tape back on. Oh man, those British developers! Where you now play as Catwoman, who is finally about to steal the thing she wanted, but Batman is stuck in rubble and might die, which can actually give you a bad ending if you just leave him alone. But you're meant to go back and help him. And that's pretty much Catwoman's role. It's not that great. I guess they were trying to hype up more characters you can play as, but you really can just remove these entire sections and have them as cutscenes. Like, they could have been a bit more fleshed out as we eventually head to Stranger's Tower to stop him. And this has happened to me on 2 occasions playing this game. I got stuck in the door! And thus you do the room, which I have the most experience in, quietly taking out the guards.
Casualty, my location.
He's there. Batman's there.
They don't tell on me! And you learn Strange has been controlled by Rage to take over his clan, but rip bozo. And now you gotta stop Joker as he's kidnapped your girlfriend Talia, but she...
Now you want to talk. Too late, Batman. Give me the cure.
But you've already got the cure. Talia, no!
Oh, Batman is so sad. But turns out this healthy Joker was a fake and is actually Clayface, while the real Joker, who is still very, very sick, kills Talia. And now you gotta fight the final boss being Clayface, freezing him while fighting his clones and destroying the Lazarus Pit. Once done, then you can use the cure Freeze made to cure your disease, which you drink to finally save yourself, and leaving half of it to save Joker.
I killed your girlfriend, poisoned Gotham and hell. It's not even breakfast. But so what? We all know you'll save me.
Every decision you've ever made ends with death and misery. People die. I stop you. You'll just break out and do it again.
Think of it as a running gag. No!
Even after everything you've done, I would have saved you.
You know, that actually is pretty funny.
And Joker dies with Batman walking out with his body, his actions leading to inadvertently killing the clown. Reminder, this dude has a no-killing policy. Well, he tries to. And so you get one final level with Catwoman.
What the hell are you supposed to be?
Piss off!
And I have to take out Two-Face, which is harder because you don't have that much stealth as Batman with his gadgets. But that ends the game, a vast improvement over the original, with now the stakes of Batman having killed Joker, having to deal with that. Yes, the major villain is actually dead. The long nemesis gone. Batman, who insists on never killing anyone, could have saved Joker. You also do get more story DLC, continuing it with Harley very distraught at this death, as you play as Robin, voiced by the one, the only, Matt Mercer. Troy Baker. And you infiltrate the hideout where Harley had a facelift. Commissioner Gordon had one too. You got that new two-tone hair color. But yes, now you can do these challenge maps that you unlock with the Riddler trophies, where you can play as Catwoman, Batman, Robin, and even Nightwing, who is so cool. Look at this smug-ass dude. But yes, Arkham City was done. And now they would take their time with the final game in the trilogy, which would continue right after the ending, with Batman having to deal with the fact that he couldn't save his arch rival. And I really did love Arkham City. I did think it was my favorite of the trilogy. What, you don't believe me? I love it so much that I bought the Nintendo version. No, not that one. The Wii U version, which has you looking at the gamepad. I love Batman Arkham City. Look, you can play the entire game portably on the Wii U screen. Why is mine pink? But it is playable. It was 2012. Oh God, the world's gonna end. Look, I love Arkham City so much, and this is why I love Arkham Knight even more.
What?
Yep, after my 6th replay of this game, they cooked so hard. Everything is improved upon. Mostly. But those minor things don't dent my adoration for this game. It really is the best single piece of Batman media, in my opinion. And after all this, you shall see why I miss it so dearly. So surprisingly, Paul Dini did not return to write this game, as Warner and Rocksteady chose to not use a freelancer, instead going in-house. And you can see the style shift where it feels more grittier, like a big AAA game from recent times, or movies of the time, because this was in 2015. And I liken its tone to Kevin's performance of Batman, where in City, he is jokey and cheerful, but here, there's so much heaviness to his voice.
What have you done with them?
It's like the tonal shift from how Metal Gear Solid went from this
personal area network, huh?
To this.
Anyone still alive's at their breaking point.
There's just some real weight to this game now. And the game was way bigger, with now 3 to 4 city-size areas that you could seemingly fly or drive to. They even said one character model in Arkham Knight could contain as many polygons as the entirety of Arkham Asylum's environment. Plus, they have the big new feature which they were dying to show off. I mean, it's ingrained in the logo. The Batmobile, which Rocksteady wanted in earlier games, but couldn't till now. And for the most part, it really feels like a tank, but it moves really fast. But you know, it is a tank. So you can destroy the environment, which was very cool in this engine, as you have this tank mode where you fight these robot drones that were okay. It was a little hammed in with just how many of them you have to fight over the course of the whole game, and I felt way angry about it back then, but now it's just okay. It's not enjoyable, but I don't think it ruins the whole experience, because man, just look at how good this game looks. You have all these cutscenes in engine, there's no loading at all, being the only time is when you die, which hopefully shouldn't be too often. But with the jump to Unreal's newer engine, the team was having much trouble getting it to work on the new next-gen consoles, the PS4 and the Xbone. And thus it was delayed numerous times, but all that, it was actually worth it, because when the review scores came in,
that's good.
But then, remember, I played the PC version.
That's bad.
Yep, with how the internet was in 2015, I saw this everywhere, all the videos before I bought this game, showing how broken it was at launch on PC. It was the original Cyberpunk. This was huge news at the time. The game was just not playable on PC at launch, and so a game I was so hyped to play, I had to buy it on the PS4.
What did you say?
God, what are these controls? Where's my E to take down? There's no... It was kind of a crazy year for me because I bought a PS4 that year just to play Metal Gear Solid 5. You know, the thing I just mentioned earlier, so there's some, you know, theming there. And now in that same year, I could play Arkham Knight as well, but it took some getting used to. Yet I did play it, and I think that's part of the reason why I didn't enjoy it as much as City back then, just because I had to play it on the PS4, as I was so used to playing it on PC for many years. But now, after all this time, they really went in, like, I can't stress how much of a mess this was. They actually offered full refunds to people, trying very hard to win goodwill back. They took the game offline, and they offered people TF2 items. Yeah, I'm sure people were very happy with that. Look, I love TF2 too, but you have to let it go, man.
Wake up.
And then, even republishing the game, it still was broken. And so for a while, everyone was just telling other people, avoid this game on PC at all costs. But 1 year later, they patched it a lot and now it runs amazingly well. I remember finally checking it out on PC and being stunned like, wow, okay, they actually did take the time and fixed it. And then I started up and, wait, what's with this mouse sensitivity? So, starting it up, you see Rocksteady cooking, Joker on the barbecue. As he gets cremated and you play as this random ass cop who was told by a narc that someone is smoking in the corner. And he must be smoking that dank stuff because oh my god, what is happening? As it's Scarecrow back again with his fear toxin, causing people to hallucinate. So the police evacuate Gotham, where now it's just crooks having their fun and Batman has got to clean up the place.
Scum. Criminals. And worse. Scum.
As it pans to Batman to show the whole city that you're going to get to explore, and man, this crescendo, it's so hype! And right away you see how amazing this new game is, as everything in this engine just looks so good. I'm running a 1060, and how does it still look so nice? It's been 9 years! JT has already ruined the tour! You can see Batman's eyes reflecting the screen. It flips around when you rotate it to see that it's a physical object in this world. Man, they understood exactly how to use the Unreal Engine to its fullest. And this is Oracle, Jim Gordon's daughter. Jim is the police commissioner. We can learn about her in the bio of her first comic appearance and a little backstory. It's great for people who want to know more about the lore if they haven't read the comics or they didn't play the other games. So Oracle stays in Gotham without her dad knowing, and he also doesn't know that she is helping us, as she is the tech wizard for Batman. And this night is long because right away I stumbled upon a side quest. Bro, I just opened the game. Slow down! So you'll hear this opera singing and find these victims, and you gotta scan the layers on them to find these clues and work out who these people are. And I love Kevin's voice in this. It's so much deeper but I think I can clearly tell that they got him to record on different days. You know, just the interrogating crooks bit, where if you beat up a group of people, usually the final one is a Riddler informant. And if you interrogate them, Riddler trophies will show up on the map for you to collect. But always, these lines, it really felt with the tone of the voice, it just sounded different from normal.
Talk!
Like you could tell they recorded this on separate days. So Batman finds Poison Ivy. For free? And Scarecrow has recruited every villain to work together to take down Batman. But Ivy refused because she's just more into plants, sometimes Harley. So it's a good thing she's not evil because she is immune to the fear toxin. And they go to escort her to Gotham Police in this fancy new car. Man, they really were proud of this thing with all the slow-mo. And so Scarecrow has hired a militia group to also take us out, who use drone tanks, and you can go into the shooting mode, which allows you to have full 360 degrees where you spin the mouse around to aim, and it comes equipped with a weak minigun and this bigger gun, which is the main one. As you build up this meter, then you can spam 1 on your keyboard to launch these missiles. I have to stress, these scenarios are very repetitive. The environments are always these roads, and you're just dodging their shots while you shoot them slowly. I don't know, man. Controversial opinion, this does not make me feel like Batman. It makes me feel like a rich billionaire taking out his trauma issues with guns. Oh, wait a minute. So we take Ivy back and lock her up in this new hub area, where there are named cops and others who have numerous lines of dialogue, and someone who looks like Seth MacFarlane, voiced by Phoenix Wright.
This elevator's locked down, Batman. Only way in or out is through the parking garage.
I think I'm starting to find Ivy, you know, attractive. Is that normal?
Bro, I get it. I won't judge. You like her feet, okay. And here you can see the lore lab where you have all these supervillain weapons that are locked up and you get a brief talk over on them. And also, sad time for Talia. And you got these cells which are very empty now, but as you complete more side quests, they will get filled with all the grunts with people like this.
Batman, I guess Scarecrow gave you the slip. You broke...
What the hell?
I didn't know we could do that.
So now we head to the clock tower for Oracle's hideout, who is in a wheelchair because of a shattered spine, which in all the details of the game, you can actually see in the X-ray vision. So we gotta find the place where Scarecrow is manufacturing the fear gas, but it's blocked by these antennas, and you gotta do light puzzle solving with the car before this bozo wants to help.
Faster together. What you're working on is more important, Tim.
Is he working on his hairline too? And now to stop the antennas, we have to break in, but they have a hostage. But
Lucius,
who runs Wayne Tech. You know, Bruce's way of making money so that he can spend on women every night. He does all our tech upgrades and saying he's got a new armored suit for us. And Bruce just gets naked on the roof while there's a hostage inside. And this reteaches you the stealth gameplay where you now have a new mechanic, fear, where you use the power of no cheap houses to buy in the future to build up fear in the people and get this symbol where you can then do a crazy loud takedown on 3 people in one go. So you usually use it to finish off the final 3 people in an arena, or like you may get spotted sneaking around because you're dummy thick and then you whip out that fear to silence them, and man, it's so cool, these moves. So we find out the gas is at Ace Chemicals. Bro, it's called Ace Chemicals. Of course he's gonna be making it there. And you gotta save some hostages, unfortunately. Not all of them. As yeah, this game ain't afraid to show that these bad guys do actually kill. But now we see the leader of the militia is
The Arkham Knight.
The Arkham Knight.
Yo, it's the box art name thing!
Someone needs to upgrade their security protocols.
And yeah, a lot of these places you gotta use the tank to help open up spots, like pull down the walls for you to glide into. They really did try and incorporate the car into a lot of the puzzle exploration, but oh my god. So in the previous Arkham games, I have to rant about this, you got this yellow combo after doing a few hits where you could press E to do an instant takedown on an enemy. As in, when you fight, enemies will take a couple of hits and then get dizzy icon. So you gotta hold control and right click to take them out of the fight forever. But the animation takes so long as other enemies will always attack you in that time. But the game does a good balance of keeping enemies waiting for their turn to fight and not all rush you at one go. But trying to knock enemies out, I always got hit trying to do this because the animation just takes so long. And the Batman will do this super crazy jump, like it takes even longer. Stop twirling! So E was a great key because it actually does this cool finisher move where you get iframes, taking them out instantly, and you could use it on stronger enemies or ones that irritate you, like the gun ones or riot shields, because normally you can't fight these enemies with punching. You have to cape stun them with a middle mouse click twice, then press spacebar to whack them. Or you have the stun baton enemies where you go to spacebar, dodge over them and hit them from behind to not get zapped. Or these knife guys, which are so annoying. You gotta hold right click and then move to dodge all their slashes. But in my free flow mind state, I never remember this, and I always am mashing the right click and get stabbed like a true holiday in Britain. So E is a great key where it takes out whoever you want, big guy, guy with the knife, guy with the riot shield, they are just out of the picture. But in this game, they move this key to Alt and 1. Yep, you gotta press 2 buttons to do the same action, as E is now the new button to exit the car's controls. As you can remotely control the Batmobile to solve puzzles, so E is when you want to exit that and go back to Batman. So then I tried and changed the key binding, but this still hasn't been fixed, as whatever new key you put the car button on, it won't register your presses. So you're just stuck inside the Batmobile, and the only way to fix this is to play with the default control scheme, which is so annoying for my muscle memory. Now having to press 2 buttons that are so far apart. But yeah, the combat is really cool now. You can easily pick up these bats on the ground to do more damage. You can use the environments to combo and do these special takedowns when these things are glowing.
Yo, listen.
And even, I'm gonna praise this, the ripping animation here looks really nice. I don't know why. And okay, one other thing I gotta mention, you know, when you do this takedown prompt in Arkham City, the game would say this. What is it saying? Fight me? Nightwing? Look, I know he's cool and all, but you don't need to yell his name every time. So we head deep inside and find Scarecrow. Scarecrowing it up.
How do I shut it down?
Let me go, or she dies.
What are you talking about?
Barbara Gordon.
Have you found him?
Get out of there! Now!
Relax. No one knows I'm here.
And now trapped inside, Scarecrow sets off the bomb, but Batman tries to limit the range where you gotta play a minigame. And you gotta slowly swipe the mouse left and right to pull it out, then put it in. Why do I do this to myself?
Now, if you're caught in that blast, you will die.
There's no other way, Alfred.
There's always a way.
With the fear toxin rising.
Miss me?
Where you now play as Jim Gordon, where... No, don't make it first person, I'm so scared! Just look at the floor. Nothing can jump scare me. It's a flashback. So yeah, remember how Joker sent his blood out to all the hospitals, you know, in the other game? Everyone got cured, except for these few, who are now displaying Joker traits.
Batman.
Goddamn, don't do that! And this one guy, he also has a clown's blood, yet he seems perfectly fine. So he might be the Ellie Last of Us 1 PS5 remaster, as we wake back up in the present.
Oh, don't act all surprised, Bats. You knew this was going to happen sooner or later. Me stuck deep inside you.
So Joker is still in our bloodstream, and also the guilt of us killing him, mixed in with the fear toxin, makes us hallucinate him into the world where this little rascal will comment on things, and honestly, it's the best thing about this game.
I had a bad reaction, but it's over now.
I've really got to hand it to Scarecrow. I've never been a fan of his concoctions up till now, but this batch, it's intoxicating. It really brings out the me in you.
What isn't the best thing? The damn car again! Why did they give it the Marvel Cinema dubstep wop wop sound? So yeah, now throughout the game, I'm just gonna see Joker pop up here and there as Joker's blood mixes deeper into you. Now Scarecrow has kidnapped Oracle and he warns you about it.
Scarecrow. They took her from the clock tower.
All right, we need to go. There could be a clue, something that will lead us to her.
I'll follow. Stay in contact.
You've got to tell him it's your fault at some point, Bats.
And man, these in-engine cutscenes make it feel also cinematic. But yeah, also those drones from the militia have taken over all the islands, with one island completely inaccessible by car till later on in the story. So these are mild inconveniences that you got to take out if you want to explore the city easier. So as we enter the clock tower, we see one of the biggest moments in Batman comics, which shows how Barbara got in a wheelchair. It was actually because Joker visited her and shot her spine, which Jim blames himself that he couldn't save her, so now he's very protective.
You would have thought old Jim Gordon had been through enough. First, some handsome young maniac cripples his daughter. Now he's blaming himself for her being taken.
And the game loves doing this thing with the characters when you spin the camera around and the character will disappear. Anyway, Batman reveals Barbara has been helping us and that's why she got kidnapped, and Jim gets so mad and he storms off. As now detective time, where we gotta find out where Oracle is, and you use the footage to scrub through and you gotta slide the mouse left and right again. Then
Here's 34 to 36.
the video to find clues, to then finding the crash site and reconstructing the crime scene, so it's way more detailed than Arkham City, where now you can play it in real time. The hologram moves as you move through it. Which, like I said, everything about this game just feels like an improvement over City. But on the way...
Batman. Oh dear, is that who I think it is?
Enigma.
What did he call him? So this is Edward, you know, Riddler, who really yaps and yaps. And he has captured Catwoman and you have to go to the orphanage to free her, as this is one of the many side quests with a big villain. Where you gotta do this over the course of the game, it's not a one and done single quest. You'll keep doing things to finish their mini storyline over the whole game.
Shocked, Dark Knight? Stunned? You didn't expect this, did you?
So sorry, Barbara, I gotta save the cat!
Yes, Batman, I'm restrained and blindfolded. You're not dreaming. Now let me out.
And Riddler has these robots, which will now begin something cool in that you have team fights. After pressing E, you can do these team takedowns and then you'll swap to the other character, letting you play as them both in a fight. But Eddie has put a collar on Catwoman where it has 9 locks, and you gotta find the keys to open them so she cannot leave this place. As we get Lucius to work out Oracle's location, so we can do more side quests like finding more bodies to scan, saving these firefighters who are all seemingly fighting these insane fires when they got kidnapped. These are very cool as they are just in the open world, where you can fight crooks or you can do these stealth sections, tackling it from so many angles. In Arkham City, all this stealth stuff was always inside loading screens in the buildings, so now I just love it that these are all open in this world for you to set up at your leisure. Also, yeah, you're gliding around this world, so you need some upgrades to help you fly faster because there's no quick traveling. But at points, you can press E to call in your car for you to jump in, or if you're on the ground, it will drive itself towards you. But maybe we could have pumped some more of that AI into this.
Bruh.
That's it, I'm calling an Uber. And now you do Riddler's quest where you go into these garages where you have to do some puzzle for him with the car. And what car puzzle is that gonna be? Racing! Bro, this ain't Need for Speed! And you gotta press control to swap these blocks so you don't crash and do 3 laps within the time limit. And you gotta hold shift and drift, but this ain't a racing car. In fact, when I'm driving this in the street, I'm pressing right click to bring up the tank mode to turn quicker because this thing is heavier than your auntie.
Tick-tock, detective, tick-tock.
And now you got a puzzle for Catwoman to open the right cabinet and get a key, but if it's the wrong one...
Wrong answer! Oh, but there's no need to lose your head over it, kitty.
And so you do this, you have to go back to the orphanage and then do a team-up puzzle with Catwoman and you rinse and repeat for the 9 keys. Also, there are these Riddler trophies to collect like before, but I don't know, this time around, all you get is concept art. All the challenge maps you unlock is by doing things in the open world, like dive bombing off a building. The concept art is cool, but when in the previous game you actually were unlocking gameplay things, it feels underwhelming now, and honestly, I didn't really care to search for them. And also because Eddie just won't stop yapping. Please shut up, dude! And now you find that guy Azrael, who you remember from Arkham City. He says he's from some holy order and his goal is to take over as our successor, so that we should test him to see if he's ready. And you gotta do these quick fights with no damage taken, and he fights like Batman, and then Alfred will analyze his fighting style. And now you can get car upgrades at Wayne Tower, and you also see how Bruce's social life is.
Call me, okay? I miss you, Brucey.
Brucey?
But don't think your boyfriend is being left out.
Bruce, this is your father calling. It's time we had a talk, son. You know, about the dressing up. Next, new message. Bruce, this is your mother calling now. I just want to say... Oh, sorry. It's so funny, you know, 'cause they're dead.
Now, another thing I found myself doing less, like exercising in winter, because oh my god, it's so cold. Similar to my attitude toward the Diddler trophies, I found myself using Batman's gadgets less in fights, because when you scroll with your mouse wheel in City, you could see all the gadgets that you had at your disposal. Here, for the minimalist view, they removed that, and even what shortcut you could press to quick access them. So I kinda just forgot about half of them and only used them for the puzzles. Also, ain't Batman the greatest?
I heard from Barbara for a while. Is she okay? She's fine. She's working on something for me. It's important. But she's safe, right? Don't worry, Tim. Just keep working on that cure.
Yeah, dude doesn't really want anyone to know that he's struggling to handle all these issues like a true 21st century man. Even lying to Tim here, who is the boyfriend of Barbara.
So let's recap. Barbara's kidnapped, and let's face it, probably dead. You're lying to Loverboy Wonder about it, and dear old Jim's marched off on his lonesome to save the day. Not your best day at the office, Bats. Something on your mind?
And he also got the problem of Arkham Knight and his militia.
Think they own Gotham. What are we going to do about it?
As it really seems like the Knight knows everything about Batman.
Unless you know exactly where to shoot.
For example, when you take out his guards stealthily, he will tell them what's happening so you can't do that same move again. Like if you do a great takedown, they will blow up the grates to stop you from doing that. They also have these other militia things to clear up the streets where you find these roaming cars and you gotta give chase, where you gotta drive up to them and press control to shoot a missile, while sideswiping the other cars with the slow-mo driving. And man, I don't want to see the city's bill for all these damages. Unfortunately, we cannot crush his skull. Would jacked up the age rating here. Like, bro, if Love Live gets M rated here, imagine Skull car crushing. So now you have another villain, Firefly, who is a crazy pyromaniac, and you gotta chase him and just let him wear out his fire before beating him down a few times. Also, another thing, I guess, with how quick the game thinks you're moving through the city, the thugs will only say one line of dialogue, not really bantering as much like in Arkham City. But when you do find thugs related to side quests, they will say more things.
How quick?
I thought there was only one quick.
I'd say there's varying degrees of quickness.
No, the more you speak, the more I think I'm gonna whack you instead.
Now, the next Riddler puzzle with the car, but this time it's not a race, as you gotta use it remotely while standing on this pad and make it jump across this gap, which is so annoying because it always does this slow-mo. So I always mistime my control press to launch the pad it's gonna land on. Not everything needs slow-mo, Zack Snyder!
Now, Catwoman, celebrate your survival by telling Batman all about the exciting orphanage development. Celebrate orphanage development.
No, you do it.
Now, Kitty. Kitty.
Why, Batman, there's a big mysterious green door.
Hey, Bats. When did Catwoman get so cute? Must have been when I started looking out of your eyes, hmm? You gonna ask her out or what? Oh, you're not still torn up about Talia al Ghul, are you? Come on, it's been months. Even the worms that ate her corpse have probably forgotten about it by now.
And I'm just minding my own business. La-di-da-di-dum. Stop with the jump scares. Anyway, you can change up the outfits of a few characters in the main menu, although I kept Batman the same because honestly, he looks so cool. But this is the new Nightwing. He's amazing. Look, it's my one non-weeb figure I have. As yep, old Nightwing, real name Richard Grayson, is here to help us stop Penguin, who is supplying the militia with guns. So these quests have us tracking a van down, which usually involves just staying up high for a bit, then finding the hideout and beating them up with Nightwing. Also, yeah, you do get more mechanics with stealth, like the takedown. You can do it from more angles, not just crouching, which was a lot of what Arkham City was. It kind of felt repetitive with how you're always just sneaking behind enemies. Like that's how the way you would just do things in that game. As now you also have these guys who will jam the radar so you can't use your night vision, since you know that does make the stealth easy because if you just keep it on you could see where everyone is at all times. Just like your government does with no wait, I misspoke! Or they'll have one guy who will track you the longer you keep it on. Just like your government does when you... Or some guy controlling a drone, so you want to take these people out first. As you got this thing called a disruptor, which is one of the most broken gadgets in the game. It only has a few uses, then you got a cooldown, but you can shoot it after some upgrades to jam guns. Booby trap the gun cache, the drone's controller, the neighbor's lawnmower. There's even these annoying medic guys. Medic! Will actually revive downed enemies so you can trap them where they will then explode upon giving CPR.
You need to wake up.
What the fuck?
So this disruptor is really vital in the stealth. Oh, bro just doesn't care that I'm standing right here.
Okay, keep looking. He's here somewhere.
So you take out Penguin's goons, and then you find this amusing glitch where...
Wayne has some ideas, right?
This is getting out of hand.
Then you gotta blow up the weapon cache.
Are you out of tiny mind, Bats? Pull that trigger, and you'll kill us both.
Man, they really have dialogue for everything they think the player will do. I'm still blown away by how they think of these scenarios. Do they let the players test the game and then go, oh, okay, let's add some more Joker lines for this.
Please, what are you doing? Bats, come on. Don't lock me in here. I'll do anything. Want your laundry done? I'll do it. Help out, Alfred. You got it. I wouldn't like to be that guy.
I'm going after Barbara.
I'll contact you as soon as I track down any of Penguin's trucks.
Thanks, Dick.
They don't call him that. But turns out the militia is waiting for us.
Old Uncle Jay sort out these chumps. I can handle it, though it has been a while.
And here you once again use a remote car to take care of them. When in doubt, use your frickin' tank. So now another Riddler racer. Oh my god, he just doesn't shut up! Seriously, who even likes this guy? So now you do the combo puzzle time with the weight on the pads.
Move over, would you?
As you gotta get the electric ball to the end, and fight some robots who are color-coded, meaning only Batman can beat up the blue ones and Catwoman the red ones. Now you find out that Scarecrow hired this rich guy, Simon Stagg, to build a cloudburst machine that is something that will help launch the gas to infect all of Gotham. And you find him on his airship, complete with tilting the ship to solve puzzles. Wait, it's out of the ship! And big guy. Oh no, not the blade dodging again! Ah, screw this. And Bats is still taking the fear toxin nicely. And Alfred has been researching on the Arkham Knight, as you still don't know who it is, and are confused because they know so much about you. So Alfred, get on that. Also see if you can find a way to get free access to this e-girl's OnlyFans.
Downloading the files now, sir.
And yeah, even this place has Riddler trophies, and man, it's just not fun anymore. Like, you do all this work to unlock a character model showcase of... Whoa! It's the trunk! As we enter the final place of the ship,
Making the right choice is so hard, isn't it?
so you make the wrong choice and Scarecrow gasses you, putting more fear in, and Joker gets some control.
Look at me! I'm amazing! And this body! I can't believe how strong it is!
And wants you to kill Scarecrow because that will push Batman over the edge and let Joker be in the body, pushing Bruce's mind to a corner. Scarecrow, however, escapes by...
Crashing this plane.
where now he shows us that he's got Barbara locked up, but no time for that. We got more side quests. Well, you remember that jump scare. Well, it's Man-Bat. Clever, I know. And you gotta find out who it is, and man, the amount of environmental storytelling is crazy. I also do appreciate how they don't lock you in like other AAA games, where you can't move and you gotta watch the whole story while standing still. Oh no, here you can walk around as they all play in engine. Where Man-Bat was some guy who wanted to cure hearing loss by imbuing his DNA with the vampire bat, but it turned him into a monster and he killed his wife, so you gotta find him flying around the city. Also, to find his DNA signal, you gotta do this stupid minigame where you have to move A and D and left and right to keep the code the same, and it honestly doesn't make any sense, so I just kept mashing it for 5 minutes. And yep, even on these side quests, you still get Joker talking about them.
His wife? Your parents? What is it about dead relatives that turned you into a giant rodent?
But for now, we find out where Oracle is as Scarecrow injects her with fear toxin.
Glass, the monster that will be your end, unless you pick up that gun and deny him.
No.
Don't listen!
Please. Please, no.
Barbara, it's me! Your friend.
You won't get me. I won't let you get me.
You will bring death to all who follow you.
What? I forgot this part. I didn't know she died. Oh boy, how's Tim and Jim gonna handle this?
Oh, you can't bring her back. Let Uncle Jay take charge. No more bad memories, no more pain, no more fear. Scout on her.
Ivy.
Oh, no.
So yeah, Ivy was immune, so maybe she can make a cure to this fear toxin, as Batman is sad about Barbara and takes his aggression out.
You're working for Riddler.
Bro, imagine he just picked out the wrong guy. Also, remember that guy we punched before? Now, because I'm a fanboy, look, I have a figurine, that means I'm a fanboy. I did buy all the DLC for this game, twice. Yes, on PS4 as well. So this gives you access to the extra villains like Mad Hatter and others that you can tackle at any time in the game. So let's meet that rhyming nut.
Oh, Fragiste Kalukale, the Batman's here. It's time to play.
And he has police hostages where you gotta find them by listening to the siren. And yes, they made that sound so annoying that you have to find it to shut it up. And then you have to defuse a bomb to save them. where the bomb defusal is so stupid as you gotta once again use A, D, and right and left to move up and down to attack it, and the latter ones are so hard. Funnily enough, to actually do this quicker, you just button mash and that seemed to work.
I was chasing down some rioters and the siren went all screwy.
Is that Caius's voice? I hate it when I recognize voice actors that get this curse off of me. So Ivy is like, fine, I'll help you. As we take her to the botanical gardens, which has some super old ass plants. But the militia have a new tank, which is so scary. And I remember hating this part so much, but as before, your memory is your worst enemy. It's not that bad now. We gotta slowly sneak behind it and then shoot it when it's locked on. And now we get an upgrade for our car.
Mr. Wayne. One piece of
No! So Ivy goes, man, this tree is cool, but I need more tree roots. So Batman says, fine, you hippie, I'll find them. But you need a car upgrade for that, and you gotta do some side quests then to progress the main story.
An APC just got picked up via the scanner, sir. The militia's
Oh, come on, dude, you don't even have a license. Now you got another villain with Two-Face whose goons rob banks, and you gotta take them out before they rob the whole place. But it is fun because these sirens go off in the first part, so you can do these loud takedowns. And Silent One takes time to choke the people out, but you can speed it up with a very loud noise. However, with the siren here, none of their friends care. Hustle culture is crazy these days, I swear. You can also do challenge maps of the same mission to repeat it, you know, right here in the main game for like street cred? I don't know. Man, I have no friends who play this. There's no leaderboards working. It's all so sad. So we save another cop. Hey, easy touching the pegs.
Thanks, Dick.
And you have more of these militia checkpoints where some of them you have to beat up people and then destroy the commander's device to open the roadblocks. Or you have these towers where you have to get rid of the turrets, so you gotta take the people out before blowing up the control. And then you annoyingly have these flying drones, and I don't know, I swear in my memory, I could remember taking them down, but I didn't get a tutorial for them here. But man, when you're free-flowing, it really is free-flowing.
That's the end of that chapter.
And yeah, this open world, I honestly was just having so much fun. I love the combat. I love the stealth. I love the movement. It felt so natural to not even care that I was just completing tasks. I just liked doing it because it was fun. Wow, what are you doing here? Like you see some enemies, you take them out. What's not fun about that?
You're gonna get such a
You and me.
But right now you can also do all of Harvey Dent's quests and you capture him, finishing it, which has you putting him in the middle cell, where I guess he just stands there all night.
So how's it hanging, Harv? Color me insensitive, but I've always wanted to ask. Did everything get split down the middle?
I then do more of Penguin's quest where you gotta follow his vans. Well, I'm really trying. Hello? You're supposed to flee for your lives.
Damn it, he's back!
And now one of the best things this game does is combining all this subtlety. So you're losing your mind, right? Seeing Joker a lot. Well, now you have all these signboards on the street, and every so often you'll glance at them and they might be Joker-fied. But then you look away and it's all back to normal. Like these statues here. I love this so much because you do a double take and like, oh, wait a minute. That was a clown, right? Right? Now I, the video game player, am going crazy too, like Batman. Immersive gameplay. Baldur's Gate 3! And the militia now finally at this point actually talk about random events like in the city. I guess it's only the militia as the thugs still don't?
My skin's still crawling, guys. Next time one of you gets the brief Scarecrow. What's the matter? Scared of his mask? It's Halloween, remember? It's not a mask. What, that thing? That's his face. Yeah. Did it to himself, too.
Well, most of the time.
Look, you idiot. They're two different people. Robin and Nightwing? Really?
Hang on. I thought Joker killed Robin.
Yeah, that's what he said. But Robin's still around. It's not like Batman's got spares.
Who the hell's Robin?
Oh, so yeah, you have this other militia thing, which was bombs that you gotta defuse after clearing out waves of tanks. You do get an upgrade where you can hold down 2 on the keyboard so that you can mind control some of their tanks to help shoot the others. But yeah, there are just way too many of these tank missions. Yes, they are optional, but it is just so annoying that they could have done something else, you know, more Batman focused with these missions. And now the story upgrade, you get a sonar, where in tank mode, you can scan for the routes Ivy wants. once. And now we check up on Robin, who is at the movie studios, which is where Batman's temporary hideout is, where we really should tell him that his girlfriend is dead. But we don't. And ask Robin to find a cure for these jokers, while we need to destroy some sentries to allow our Batwing to fly around and scan for that cloud burst that Scarecrow's driving around. They also get a chip upgrade that lets your hacker blind these drones for a few seconds, and you need this for the story and side quests, since as a bat, guns do big damage. So you gotta stop them working to be able to do your things, beating up people. As we find more militia with the Arkham Knight there, but he cannot be taken down. Yo, the dudes are fighting! Then you got more Eddie puzzles where you gotta slowly winch your car down with a grapple, then glide through to eject to the other side to fight these robots who are electrocuted, and it does so much damage and it's all just too much. But I love these triple counters. However, it's so annoying to consistently pull these off, as you'll see these 3 icons meaning you can counter 3 people, right? But this is also during a fight where you're very busy punching people. So you're always mouse clicking, and that means you'll always hit someone too quickly, taking one of these 3 out, leaving only 2 of them to counter. So it was very rare for me to ever do a triple counter anytime I played these games. Well, I finished up Firefly and capture him, then solve some more of the murders where we find out that it's this guy who rented out this very creepy place where you go in and hear him.
You're done here, Valentine.
This is Pig. His comic names are a bit on the nose, huh? What the heck is Condiment King? So he's weird. And that's a given because he makes his victims into these dolls.
You're insane.
And what are you? I'm man.
Who you need to take down with finishers to knock them out, as they will keep getting back up, which makes this fight very hard, as you have to survive all of this and knock them out. Because yeah, okay, you just take a punch here and there, and then you forget how small your health bar is. You can buy armor, but you're not really meant to let people hit you as Batman. Yet they do here, again and again. As Pig will chuck knives, and you gotta counter them while dodging all of the enemies, and if you die, you gotta do the whole house again. And it's an even bigger issue because Batman will do all these twirling and still try to take them down. Just punch them out, stop twirling. And to finish Pig, you gotta do an environmental takedown on the table, which has you pressing spacebar and left mouse click at the same time. That's a very hard thing to do. Oh yeah, one thing I never mentioned is that these Arkham games have these amazing death scenes, where whomsoever you die to, even grunts, have this scene where they talk down to your lifeless body. It's very comic book in character, and it even shows how much respect this game has for the source material. But you shouldn't be seeing this because you're good at the game, right? As we shove him in, and now can talk to all the villains that are cozying up here.
Look, Garfield, fire's great and all, but what about acid?
And I do more Penguins quests where it's so funny, this dual takedown, because it is an engine, so it has to teleport the other character to you to be able to finish them off. But if they are busy... So now we get a distress call. Bro, how does this old man know how to use our phone? As look who returns to take over.
Henry! Harley Quinn.
So you do remember me.
But Robin will be fine, right? Because I gotta go save the cat. We gotta use the other person's view to find the tiles that you can walk on. I will say they're at least creative and not making any of these Riddler challenges feel similar to each other.
She's vulnerable, trapped in an abandoned orphanage. That sure spells romance to me.
But yeah, man, I was in full open world game mindset. I knew I had to save people, but I was just having fun exploring, beating people up. Also, it is weird because you can't actually save in this game. It auto saves, and so you have to like collect a trophy or do a small quest to save, and then you can end your play session there. Also, I had a new strategy to interrogate those Riddler guys, because you have to make sure they are the last guy standing to be able to interrogate them. Well, your Batmobile shocks anyone it touches, so I usually shock the whole group and then chase after the final guy. Now I did all the quests for Riddler to free Catwoman, but I realized they don't have the required gadget. Yeah, so a weird thing in this game, the gadgets are actually all given to you at the start, as opposed in Arkham City, you slowly got new ones as you progress the game. So here you have all of them except for 2 that you already had in City. You do get them, but they're not available to you in the beginning. One is the electric gun, which you do get later on in the story, but you can actually get it earlier at the police lockup because they just have it there, so you can just...
We don't like that.
And the freeze gun is in the base Harley took over. It's just kind of odd because you don't have them at the start. Like, I don't really see the point of the freeze gun being here, as you never need it in the story. It's an optional item, so why not just let us have it at the start anyway? So we infiltrate Harley's base. You now get to use a voice, which I do not like. It's just Timmy Turner. Seriously, the Big Bang Theory actor did such a better Harley in the show. It's my canon voice for her. But you can use Timmy's voice to tell the guards to go here and direct them where you live.
Check that weapons crate!
You got it.
Ah, memories. You, me, and a ward full of psychotic killers. You've never felt so at home, have you?
So we break in with Robin, as we have to free the 3 Joker clones, while the old man will guard the entrance. What, is he gonna gum the enemies to death? And so you got choices on which ones you should tackle first, and you have to use the voice to hack open the doors.
If only you could convince one of these chumps to open up the gate for you. I'd do it myself, but you know, you killed me.
Open the gate!
I don't get it. What's there to get? Just get the gate open. Okay, but this don't seem right.
It's a very fun whole set piece, as now each villain is all different. The big guy you just fight. The lady gotta use stealth, but you can press E to have Robin do a stealth takedown on someone far away. Also, man, imagine being a goon in this game.
And you.
Like, Batman will not kill you no matter what, but your boss might. So we go to free her.
All mine! Home-wrecking little birdie brat!
And of course, Rocksteady added scratch marks to his character model. As now walking through, we learn about the biggest law in Batman's history, Jason Todd, who was the second Robin. The first was Dick, who now became Nightwing. This guy's the third one. And Jason Todd was captured by Joker and tortured for a year before being killed by him. And you see this play out in front of you again, because you know you're hallucinating.
Wakey, wakey.
Whoa, hey, this ain't Friday night. Wasn't ready for that.
Everything okay? You look spooked.
I'm fine, Jason. Tim.
You haven't done that for a while.
And now the final guy, Johnny Charisma, as we ask the old guy back at the base, bro, stop looking up Facebook AI videos and help us! And wait, the dude is good at computers? Okay. Where you have to use the mirror's footage to be able to find the code to enter. And now you gotta let Johnny, well, Joker, sing to you as Robin defuses the bombs and takes him down. Then the old guy calls,
Please, you have to help me.
alright, I'm coming, don't have a heart attack. So we knock Harley out and take her back. Ah, why is it like this?
Get away with this!
But we return and see all the clones dead.
You killed them, didn't you, Henry?
No way. Yeah, so he's been Giga Joker-fied already.
Go to hell.
But our Joker is like, no, I want to be Joker.
Even I don't know which side to root for now. Goodbye. It's been educational. I changed my mind. Kill him!
Now that's unexpected. You're gonna be spectacular.
So Robin finally realizes that we are infected with Joker's blood and says, bro, this empty cell that you had ready, it was for you, right? You were gonna put yourself in there, so get in there. Batman says no, he'll lock himself up after he's done with Scarecrow. But Tim goes, come on, buddy, you're unstable with Joker. Get in the cell. And so we get in.
You'll be fine.
Of course I will. You trained me.
And remember what you have to do to load the next scene? And Joker frees us, saying, bro, come on, don't be uncool. And we get the choice again, as this is all playing in Batman's head, where Joker even shows us Jason again, and we get paranoid this is gonna happen to this Robin. And so you can keep repeating this, where you get new Joker lines, till finally, you lock Robin inside. And you know, typical guy thing saying you can handle this all alone?
He's sicker than me and Harley's honeymoon tapes.
Also, don't think all these Riddler guys are pushovers.
Tell me everything.
Screw you.
What the heck? Yeah, I love how this game just constantly keeps you on your toes. So now we have the electric gun for Riddler's final challenge. We're gonna move the boxes to let the laser in the hole, with Catwoman's way at stopping blocks from moving. And once free, you get a big fight against a mecha Riddler, and then he runs away, saying to find him, you need to collect every single Riddle in the game, then he will fight you.
Batman, but not a moment before.
Or we could just leave you down there, Eddie. Come on, Batman. This cat wants to prowl.
Yeah, I agree. Screw this nerd. And Catwoman runs off. Now at this point, I thought, okay, I'll go and try those DLC quests that are in the game, but you don't do them after the story. They all fit in between, where the first one is on the ship stranded ashore, as you find Mr. Freeze, who is looking for his wife, who has cancer, but he froze her to try and find a cure. But now Scarecrow took her, so you gotta find clues and then rescue her before a touching scene where she's tired of this and just wants to spend their final few days together. And sure glad she's very different to the Harley TV show version of her. I then finished Man-Bat, who you will hear screeching in the game, and you gotta glide onto him and inject him 3 times. And I love that, yeah, you don't even know where he is. You gotta just use the sights and sounds and night vision to eventually spot him while you roam around. You can look up a guide and just negate the whole immersion thing. Then finish Mad Hatter, where he takes us into a storybook and you gotta fight all these guys to free the last hostage, then beat him up!
Why not brew some tea and snuggle up in here with me?
Bro, I already got Joker deep inside me, okay? Wait your turn!
You need help, Jervis.
Then you got Croc.
Dick.
No, I said Croc. Who is on this crashed blimp where you gotta go through it again, and it's kind of funny how you have so many gadgets at your disposal. The game kinda didn't plan for this, so it actually restricts you from using them. Like Batman. Okay, you're too smart. Stop, just slow down. And Batman Brave and the Bold fans rejoice. There's a Grodd reference! Where you learn the Warden here was experimenting on prisoners using the Croc's DNA to make superhumans. So now you gotta fight Croc, where you gotta dodge his attacks, but then do this takedown to Nightwing to combo beat him till his health bar goes down. These fights are always so cinematic. Yo, does this toy come free with the Happy Meal?
You have to pay for that.
Now the final one has you again with the Cult of Rage, where he's still not dead, and his clan wants the Lazarus Pit, the last bit of it, to revive him, but his other daughter doesn't want him alive because he's not the same person he was. Oh man, another daughter. Hey, Bruce, don't sleep with her too! And now you've completed 5 of the supervillain quests, which you can see with this tick, with the main quest on the top. But then something else now pops up as we get the suspicious quest, and you go into Wayne Tech as Bruce, since, I mean, it is a public company, and when you walk into the fun, you gotta be as Bruce. As we log onto his computer.
Mr. Wayne, I just finished securing the building. Is something wrong? Anything I can help you with, sir? I didn't think you'd be coming back here tonight. Is there something I missed?
Hey, wait a minute! Yep, this wasn't us. It was that face stealer, Thomas Elliot from Arkham City, who was our childhood friend, but he tried to kill his parents to get their money, yet Bruce's dad saved his mother, and now Thomas hates Bruce. But we can easily take him out.
Too late and he'll get a shot off.
Kill him.
I didn't press it, I swear! So we do it, and break a $200,000 table in the process, although now Thomas knows that we are Bruce, so I don't know how that's gonna work out in the future.
Dear Gotham, this is a public service announcement. I just wish to inform you that Batman has not solved my riddles because he is deeply stupid.
Bro, I ain't solving your quest! Shut up! And to finish Penguin's quest...
Prepare for strong resistance, Dick.
We lost him! We actually lost him! Get us back to HQ before he comes back.
Man, these Penguin goons ain't that smart, huh? But Penguin grabs Nightwing, so we gotta save him. And man, they have so much flavored dialogue while you're setting up the takedown. And we get Penguin. Finally! British Nathan Drake has been stumped!
I'm proud of you, Dick.
Are you feeling okay?
Don't be fooled, Bats. Underneath that short, fat, hideous exterior, there's an fishy teddy bear waiting to get out.
Well, okay, now we can go back to the story, where Ivy is under attack in her plant base, so we have to grab her as Scarecrow launches the toxin, and it sweeps the city in fear, where now you cannot walk on land, you gotta fly around to avoid it, can't even drive your car and fix this huge mess. So Simon Stagg might know how to stop the cloudburst, as Ivy can only suck up the poison, but the thing has to stop generating more. So back to the blimp we go, where we find him, and we can learn that this cell tech thing we can put into the Batmobile allows us to use it and drive up to the cloudburst vehicle so we can destroy it. And yep, we gotta slide the mouse over, putting it very slowly in, breathing in the toxic fumes as Joker gets really close to taking over.
Give me a moment, Alfred. I'll be fine.
Well, now you gotta sneak into where it is and use the radar cover, where it's so annoying because these tanks always sneak on you. And I didn't know this because, like I said, I couldn't see all the gadgets I had. We have a smoke pellet, where if you get spotted in the game, it will bring up this button that you can use to click, you know, to hide and get away quickly if they're shooting at you. But I didn't know this until now, that this was an actual weapon you could use. You could just mouse scroll wheel to it, and you can put smoke up anywhere. Yes, I played the entire trilogy without knowing this. And so we reached the cloudburst, where it's this big, crazy tank, and you gotta sneak around avoiding its radar spinning while destroying the other big tanks first. And this was so scary because if this big tank spots you, it is so hard to get rid of driving straight. And with how hard turning was, I really remember hating this part so much. Just leave me alone. But we defeat it and capture the knight, but then old Joker ruins it and he runs off. Ivy then uses her life to suck up all the poison in the city as she dies.
Patrick, put your helmet back on. You know there's no...
So now we finish up Azrael, who Alfred tells us is actually part of this holy order, like the Assassin's Creed Templars. So seriously, it's a lot like it, and was brainwashed into it, and using his brain file, we can find the hidden message where they brainwashed him to kill us and take over. So now you play as Azrael and you get a choice to kill Batman or just leave. And or you can't kill Batman. Only Riddler can do that with his yapping. But there's a third option if you break the sword, where you tell him all about the Templars and then he vows to take them out.
You made the right decision, Michael.
Heck yeah. So back at GCPD, oh man, these cells are getting so full, where we get an encrypted message from Jim saying he found Scarecrow and knows Barbara is dead, but he wants revenge, so we gotta go out and stop him from dying. And we gotta do a lot of puzzle solving with the car to get there. I think this is like if you didn't do those Riddler side quests, this is now making full use of this new knowledge where you're gonna grapple down with the car and fly out and such.
So what do you think, ladies? My money's on the Batman. So you could say I have a vested interest.
Get out of the way, Joker! No! Maybe I wasn't meant to see this. And then into the tunnels you go with the car and reached, oh no, not this part, where the Arkham Knight has a bigger tank and you gotta lead him to these explosion areas and drive on the ceiling. And yet again, man, I really must have sucked at this game before because it's now not that bad. Although these physics suck off as a ball sometimes.
You're old, you're predictable.
Hey! And we escape, but unfortunately our Batmobile gets crushed. Yay! No more tank missions! And this is where the spoilers will start for this game, so here's the warning for that. Where now you find Jim strapped up and take out the guards, but the Arkham Knight is there.
Who are you?
You really have no idea, do you, Bruce?
Jason. But you're dead.
Let's not fall out here, Bats. I might have told you a teeny tiny little lie.
Yep, so that's how he knew us so well. Jason didn't die and was planning his revenge all this time, due to thinking that we did nothing to save him, and that we just replaced him with a new Robin. Bro, I'll take you over Baldy McBalderson any day! And now it's a really cool boss fight where this map will evolve to 3 levels, where each time you gotta get underneath him and take him out, using all your gadgets and stopping drones and goons, but we take him down.
Alfred, I found Jason.
Man, we should get Batman to help out that other guy. Jason! He runs away now with a red hood because he's Red Hood. It's a comic thing, we'll get to that. But it's also amusing looking at the voice actor. Where in Arkham City, Troy Baker was Robin for that little section there. But now they gave him the Arkham Knight role of the other Robin, Jason Todd. And so the balding Robin, you know, Tim, they gave that voice to Matt Mercer. Bro, can't escape from the same sounding voice. Also, wait, Pig is voiced by Dwight Schultz? Huh?
This is insane.
But we free Gordon and get to confront Scarecrow, where Jim double crosses us as it turns out Barbara is alive and Scarecrow uses her to control Jim. And Scarecrow had used fear toxin back then to make us think Barbara died. But Scarecrow has no use for Barbara now and throws her off, but we go and save her and get another new tank. Oh no!
Oh, how chivalrous. Remember the time you carried me like that? I don't, because I was dead.
So now Scarecrow has captured Jim, and Barbara will help us again to find him, where you got to do like some fetch quests to pad out the game a bit. Also amusingly, if you do all those bonus DLC stuff, your save file crosses over 100% on the completion file. And man, I really like this little hub base that we got. You know, it's got these people who feel more real than other NPCs, as they have names and multiple lines of dialogue over the course of the game.
You get the wheel in the shot.
Okay, perfect. Now say, I'm Batman. Go on, say it.
Oh crap, he's here. Sorry, Batman. We didn't touch anything. I couldn't resist the photo op. My kids would disown me if they found out I didn't get any pictures.
He talked me into taking the picture, Batman. I said to him it's inappropriate, but he wouldn't listen.
The enemies though! Also, being in an open world, it's kind of funny when things don't go as planned, as now I upgraded the glide kick, where if you hold control you do a super takedown and just utterly drown this guy. Yeah, Batman doesn't kill, right? Also, there's this reporter called Jack Ryder you see in GCPD, and he's trying to get a scoop on this cult of Deacon Blackfire, so you gotta free him from that. As now back in GCPD, we find that Scarecrow is attacking with the militia, so everyone has to barricade up.
It's on Freeze's gun! You know I had my eye on that. Yeah, we'll pick something else. Use one of those swords. These guys have got guns.
As we are the only hope, yet again, where you gotta sneak out and use a tank to attack. That mind control upgrade we got really helps take the pressure off. Also, if you die here, you get an amusing bad end. And now, since the night ran off, the militia have a new commander, Deathstroke, who you can fight if you complete every single militia checkpoint thing. And man, I didn't really feel like it. I mean, I've completed so many villain stories, I'm not really a 100% completion type of guy. And back at the base, we see Scarecrow has also captured Robin. So now we are in super trouble because we kind of put him in there defenseless. It's our fault. But more importantly, I forgot that you also have Batmobile skins from the DLC! Wow, now this is so much better! So I did some more firefighting saving and realizing, wait, you can take out those drones? You gotta fly onto them like the Man-Bat thing and blow them up? I knew I remember doing these before. How did I forget that so easily? So I do some more militia checkpoints, just the ones I spot since they are still fun little stealth sections, little puzzles that you get to solve in the map. And I pretty much did every villain thing except for Riddler and the firefighter line. So to complete that, we gotta find the chief.
Still missing.
Damn it. You think he's okay, right?
I'll find him. Don't worry.
Bro, okay, chill, I'll find him! Yeah, during this quest, I had this thing pop up which was a bit annoying with the controls. As if you're in range to do a stealth takedown, the option for it pops up on screen. I wanted to disarm the weapons first, so I would load up the disruptor and aim with the right click button, which instead makes me jump down and try to do a stealth takedown, and it always fails. This happened to me twice in the game, so yeah, I think they really could have reworked the PC controls, you know? Although I don't know how many people that affects. As I can't even change the keys because that's gonna break the driving again. So we save the chief and find out he was the one letting Firefly start those fires. So the town would then keep the firefighters in business, but it endangered his whole crew. Okay, it's not that bad. Wait, why are you putting him into the supervillains? Like, you got a robber, mafia, serial killer, and just a dude trying to get more public funding.
Hey, I think prison's going to be the making of this one, Batsy. A few jailhouse tats, gang initiations, drug abuse. He'll come out a fully functioning criminal. Just what Gotham needs.
Oh man, why? And so now we get to the end game where you gotta go to Scarecrow alone and sacrifice your weapons, otherwise he will kill Tim and Jim. So into this truck we go, which gets hit, and then you go into fear, remembering the parents' death, and all those jokers trying to break you, but haha, fool, I'm gonna break you! And the final one, you got this kill Joker button, but no matter how long you wait, you gotta do it.
So you finally lost it, eh? Finally snapped my neck. No denying it this time. You've got the mind of a killer, and that mind is mine. It's over, Bruce. You crossed the blood-red line, and now Scarecrow's going to set me free.
As the van takes us to Arkham Asylum, where Scarecrow is hiding, and we see Tim and Jim. As Scarecrow wants us to feel fear, so Gotham will have no hope that we are just Man, not this crazy superhero. And so he unmasks us and shows to everyone that, yep, we are Bruce. Our life ruined forever. No more swinger parties. And he injects us with a crazy amount of fear toxin.
What are we waiting for? Let's get this done.
No. We need to do this right. He needs to face justice.
This son of a bitch killed 50 of our men. I say we finish him before he wakes up. He's too dangerous.
We've got 100 guns trained on him. He's going nowhere.
As now Joker is in full control, where you see him go crazy, killing everyone in his Joker-mobile, and third-person shooter where you can gun down all the villains, like Penguin.
Please don't shoot! Think of all we've been through!
All right, cobblers. Because you groveled so nicely.
Thank you.
I changed my mind.
Threw her to get to
Oh
me.
God, kill him! And you're free.
Master Bruce, Batman, you have to listen. Think of your family, Bruce. Your father, what would he say if he saw you like this? Please stop this rampage.
Oh, Alfred, sweet, loyal Alfred. Master Bruce is gone. But don't you worry, your new master's coming home.
Do you know what happens now, Mr. Wayne? I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to set you free. Free to see the city you swore to defend tear itself apart. Free to see everyone you love hunted down and killed. Every scream, every death. Vengeance for all that Batman has done.
Good.
What? Do you not understand? It is over.
Get ready for the encore.
Why aren't you scared?
And yep, first-person shooter game where you're in Batman's mind and seeing Batman's defense system because, oh god, not the jump scare again! I can't tell you how fun this was first time, never knowing this was in the game. But Batman's putting up all these things saying, oh, Joker died. No one cares about it. Harley marries Riddler of all people. And you find Batman statues where, if you know those angel things from Minecraft, man, why is he so scary? And eventually, where now you beat up Joker to lock him away in your mind for good.
No!
Goodbye, Joker.
No! Bruce! Don't leave me! Please!
I need you.
And Bruce now doesn't care. He has no fear. As Red Hood comes in to help free us, and then we inject Scarecrow with the toxin, and he finally gets a dose of his own medicine. And wait, why isn't the game ending? Huh? What the hell? Okay, so you know all those side quests I was doing? Well, they aren't optional. They are mandatory to see the ending. But if you do less than 7 of them, the game will end once you complete 7, giving you an incomplete ending cutscene, but you have beaten the game. You get the credits and everything. But if you do over 7, which I did unknowingly, to now finish the game, it will push you to the true ending one, which means you cannot get the incomplete one anymore. You're locked out of that. So now you got to complete every side quest, which means all of the riddles. No, I don't want that. I hate that dude. So yeah, such a weird mechanic for this ending, as I guess I technically have not beaten the game. I mean, I have done this before. On my first attempt, I did the 7 side quest incomplete ending. I've never gotten the true one, but here it is, where you set up the Nightfall Protocol, where Wayne publicly enters his manor that was rigged to explode, and we die, question mark? Later we see Jim the mayor and Oracle getting married to Tim, but some crooks get beaten up by a new Batman. So it's like, Batman is dead, since Bruce is is dead. Everyone knows that he's dead, so they don't expect a new Batman. So, you know, that's a way that Bruce could keep Batman alive. This could actually be Bruce. Or it could be one of the successes that we had set up in the game. You know, Azrael, Nightwing, even Red Hood, they could take up the mantle. So it's open to interpretation. And yeah, man, this game is so good. Like, it felt more cinematic than the other ones. More Nolan movie stakes, although I do know there are problems where comic fans will say the whole Jason Todd thing in as the Arkham Knight, it doesn't really work well if you know the source material. But to me, I absolutely love this. I enjoyed so much how it felt like a good ending to Batman and Joker's character, where they concluded it in a trilogy and you didn't need to see more of them or anything like that. I also got a shout out to the music, which I can't play without loud noises over the top because Warner Brothers is the worst game copyright people. But it really is very fitting to the mood. The ominous drones throughout, getting hype when fighting, or the spooky sounds when stealthy. But before I conclude my thoughts on why I love this game so much, I got to talk about the DLC. I mean, I paid for it. I'm getting my money's worth, okay? Where you play as the other characters in different parts. All of them are in the post-game except for the first one, which is Harley's one, where you play the bit just before Arkham Knight, as you're trying to break into Bloodhaven Police to grab Poison Ivy for Penguin. And these are all fun because you play as the character where they got this night vision mode, and her one is all insane, as you have Harleen, the psychiatrist version of her, talking to you. But come on, man, I'm stuck! Yeah, I cannot select the Jack-in-the-Box thing, so I can't exit the tutorial. And then after looking it up, you gotta have the box open before you enter this room, and then it works. So I was just stuck listening to these bozos talk about trees.
If we created 3 jobs for every tree we cut, we'd have tons of jobs, and Bloodhaven would be one of the best cities to live in.
Harley also is very loud with the takedowns. Like, she doesn't have stealth takedowns. She doesn't know what that is. And anything she does will alert the guards. She also has this insane mode where you'll do insta-kill to enemies, so you're not totally defenseless. As yep, you free Poison Ivy after fighting off Nightwing. Next, you then play as Jason Todd, who is now a vigilante. So he's like Batman, but not really, because he just kills everyone, which is a very fun twist on the gameplay, because you're doing all the same combos you're doing before, but then, oh crap, right there! And these maps are little spaces that you load in between, so it's not in the open world, and you do some stealth sections, then the combat, then it loads another area, and so on. You can complete them in like 20 minutes as you take out Black Mask, like take out. Then you got Batwoman, which is a super old prequel where you play as Barbara, where she helped Batman in the field with him, and you and Tim are infiltrating an amusement park taken over by Joker and Harley, their younger versions. And it's a full park mini zone that you can fly around and you usually do some stealth or gameplay, then team up with Robin and move on. It's a very nice small package, and Barbara is very fun.
Robin, RPG!
I see it!
And so you go through this, and I really like this stealth section where the goons are talking about
Dino DNA.
How the bugs get into the orange glass? Blow through the glass and get stuck. How come the glass is orange back then? Actually, glass is orange in its natural state.
But then you reach Joker and take him out, with Joker escaping as usual, and then my game crashed. It was almost a perfect PC release, Rocksteady! Next is Catwoman, who wants revenge on Eddie in the post-game, because I guess in this universe, Batman actually completed all the riddles and beat up Riddler and then locked him up. So Selina here is trying to steal his funds.
Keycards on the goons.
And you got a very fun stealth section and then combat as you go into the robot zone where Eddie is still in prison, but he's trying to get his home security to do its job. And now you gotta fight waves of robots as the floor gets more electrified the longer you take, and there are so many of them. It actually took me 30 minutes of retrying this fight over and over because, oh man, you gotta not waste time taking them out, as nearly the whole board will light up and you die so quickly. So you have no time to do that slow takedown animation, you just have to hit and counter, keep moving, dodging everything. It was really challenging, but Catwoman is very fun to play as. Oh, she's one of those people. Soon it will be real! Then Nightwing coming back to stop Penguin breaking out of GCPD, which was very fun using the moves and the voice lines in a proper arena. More improved than City, you know, just having those challenge maps. And then Robin on his honeymoon, taking out these two-faced crooks in this big boiler room as they are robbing the place. And then we complete the DLC. But you also do get these many challenge maps to try stealth or combat, as well as other people like Azrael, which was crazy that they had to update this. Like in the base game, you couldn't swap out these characters. You had to just pick that one to do that mission, but now you can swap out to any character doing any of these, so it offers so much replayability. And the DLC gives you brand new locations that you didn't see before, like you can go into Wayne Manor or the Batcave, complete with
DNA.
What the hell set this this thing off.
Then even racing ones to using all these cars, where from the Camp Batman movies to even the Nolan ones, and you can race on all those sets. Like, a lot of effort went into making these DLC feel authentic to the Batman lore, and that is why I love this game so much, which I'll get to finally. So as someone who never read the comics or anything, I was just into the Nolan movies, this was absolutely the best game for me to start loving Batman as a whole. I adore how in-depth Rocksteady went with the lore, learning so much of key Batman history, comic book events in this game. It just made me want to look it up more. So after playing these games, I wanted to indulge myself in Batman, you know, read the comics, the DC comics. Hey, wait. DC stands for Detective Comics. So, Detective Comics?
That actually is pretty funny.
Where I went down the comic book rabbit hole, fighting so many things like, here's Batman fighting a Joker dragon in a medieval multiverse, and you people make me sick. But then Batman fighting a bear and a Christmas tree. To me, finding out, oh my god, they cross over him with everything. Like, I love TMNT, the good one. I need to talk about that someday. But they had their own comic crossover, and why Scooby-Doo? So many Warner Brothers IPs, they just crossed them over. Then I really couldn't believe this. There's actual Batman Spider-Man crossovers? I thought they hated each other. Pokemon!
Freedom and weep for Pikachu!
Then Batman with Tarzan. The aliens, you know, the Xenomorph. Archie. Oh god, I swear it's all my childhood. Don't tell me. Tintin and Asterix too. And then the animated movies, which I watched, and one of them was amusing as it had the same voice actor for Batman and Joker, and it's so dark. Blood in my kids show. And then you have also this comic with Elmer Fudd.
What?
So then I thought, okay, I actually want to read the comics to learn the lore from the beginning. And then all the comic book fans laughed at me. Where do I start? Everyone says there's different points to start. There's all these timelines. There's different writers, storylines. What do you mean Harley is like this now? And I also had a stint of watching that Harley Quinn TV show, which was really good for 2 seasons. Then it just utter nosedived in quality, and now I have no real interest in it anymore. But it showed to me that there was many ways to see all these takes on the characters, which I really love about Gotham's lore. And then I found this artist who has his own sets of fans, and my god, this art style is so amazing. I love it so much. But then if I want to buy the comics, it's so expensive. It's like, holy moly, I love Batman so much now. There's so much to just getting into it once you've opened the floodgates. And that's what Arkham Knight did for me. It opened that gate. I appreciate how they made Batman feel so menacing and scary, so powerful in combat, a sneaky bat in stealth, his morals and all what he does, with all the side characters and how they're portrayed. It didn't feel too gritty. There's still some lightheartedness to this franchise, and Knight capped it all off with amazing lore and me hearing about all these things that I knew about, like Barbara, how she got into a wheelchair, seeing it realized in a game, combining all these villains plus the gameplay improving upon. It was such a great game, and why I miss it so much. Because for years Rocksteady didn't do anything, like no games for years. There were rumors, Superman game, TMNT game. I was so hyped for this. This rumor broke me. Can you imagine them with the combat? I just wanted something to use this amazing combat system, please. And then the whole Suicide Squad game debacle came about, and well, I didn't try it because I watched other people play through it and pick it apart, and when it was revealed, I did not like the look of the gameplay at all. I wanted Batman stealth and beating up, not a looter shooter. And even then, that expanded DC universe they were getting into, I'm not really into that. I think I just love the Batman side to it with Gotham, not the whole alien space things for the most part. And yeah, it came out that the director of this game actually did want to make Suicide Squad how it turned out, which baffles me. That was the direction they went. I mean, maybe it's Warner Brothers influence and all that, we don't really know. Like, they wanted a looter shooter game to tap into that market. But it's just like, I want to ignore that as much as possible because of what it did to the Arkham characters here. And now there's a rumor that Rocksteady are going to make another Arkham Batman game, and I know it won't be good because half of the people who made this game are no longer at the company, and with how I know modern games are, I cannot see it being good for me. I guarantee you also there's going to be an Asylum Reddit reference because that has its own fun.
Batman.
Ah!
And it's why I miss Arkham Knight so much. It was a current gen modern game in a time when this all was actually outstanding. It wasn't all played out. Like it did the cinematic one take before God of War. There's pretty much no loading in the main game unless you die. Its graphics still hold up today. There's such a reverence for the franchise. It actually works. There's so much stuff to do in it. It has emergent gameplay. It makes you feel like Batman. And so I know that there's no other superhero game that's ever gonna come close to this. And that kinda is sad in a way, that we got one of the best games ever in this genre, and now nothing more. So the Arkham trilogy is a heck of a trilogy for a little known British company to whip out for them to influence two whole genres with free flow combat, which other superhero games have tried and failed to match in my opinion, to then night vision being such a staple of games now. It being easily the best superhero game ever made, giving fans of the comics something, make them feel like playing as Batman, one of the most iconic superheroes of our time, to new fans learning so much about the incredible franchise and taking their own steps in, with Knight being the culmination of those 7 years of experience, building upon everything to improve and iterate bigger and better, and it actually lived up to the hype, where others now seem to always fail when they get more and more bigger. Sure, it has its flaws. It was a buggy mess at launch. It has wonky control changes, a bit too much of that Force Tang gameplay, but it does everything so well, elevating the story to a new cinematic scope while still keeping that comic book flavoring. There are so many details, that every person in your base being named with dialogue at every single point of the game, to little things like character models changing when things happen to them, to dialogue for things when you think no player would have attempted this, to then some of the best character performances of these iconic people in their history. This is my favorite Batman ever created, and Joker, and Catwoman, and Scarecrow, and the list can go on and on. Nightwing is so cool. Which makes me long for a game like this again, where it felt AAA, but you could tell they were given the time to make it as fleshed out as they could. I mean, I know there was still some rushing. Such a love letter to the franchise. It still looks good and runs well now, finally. I mean, I'm happy if there are no more Arkham games ever again, but I do wish I could go back to that time to experience this masterpiece once again for the first time. And that's it from me. Finally got to talk about one of the games that I can just easily jump into replay at any point. If you enjoyed this long video, I do have more on the channel, so I would appreciate a subscribe. You can also follow me on Twitter for more updates, and until then, I shall see you all in the next video.